Oh, good afternoon, Jay.
Yes,
Um,
how you doing, Angela?
I'm hanging in there.
Welcome to Open Diary Live Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We got a special guest, Miss Angela, and she's here. To spread some awareness. So, how are you, Angela?
I'm tired, but tired of being high. But I'm high.
Well, at least you're honest.
Yep.
And
You want me
how did you grow up, Angela?
I grew up in a good household. A good household. I was in foster care, but it was in good foster care. My dad got me and my brother out of foster care. I was 5. My brother was 6. Uh, Good childhood. Met up with my birth mother when I was 12, and she was an addict. I was in New Jersey, and she was in Philadelphia, my birth mother. So traveling back from Goody Two Shoe, New Jersey, to visit my mother, who was an addict, every other weekend in Philadelphia. I started acting up as a child because I wanted to be where the action was.
And how far did you go in school?
I graduated college, Temple School of Nursing.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
And what contributed to you start using drugs?
Okay, I started out on the pills. First it was Vicodins and then Percocets. Percocets graduated from the 5s to the 10s to the 15s, then snorting 30s.
Did this start in your college days?
Actually, no, in my career days. In my career days. And I looked at myself as I didn't have an addiction or a habit because I figured it was just pills. It wasn't that bad. Until I got a pressed fentanyl Percocet.
Well, was you hooked instantly?
It was an instant. I dropped my cup of coffee and just it was like a whole new euphoric feeling. It was totally different than Percocets.
And
And
how long was your run off the fentanyl? How long was you on
um,
it?
well, I started doing the fentanyl because the Perk 30s wound up going up a whole lot. And somebody said, "Why don't you just go down to Kensington and get yourself a slice of fentanyl for $5?" And I came down here and started smoking it off foil. Instantly addicted. I would get done work and come down here after work, grab my stuff so I have it. I would start doing it at work. Um, it was it's insane how it happened. Totally insane.
And how long was you on it before it started affecting your work?
I hit it for a couple months, and then you can't hide it anymore. You can't because you constantly have to do it. It's a constant need for fentanyl. Constant.
Well, would you fall asleep while you was at work off it?
Not off the regular fentanyl. If I got the fentanyl with the like the benzo at the time, they had the trank mixed in with it. But I used to go to a certain block and it wouldn't have the trank in it. But I got some with trank in it one time, and I fell out and overdosed in front of Needle Park. Yeah, so it's very
And you said you was in Chicago not too long ago, huh?
yeah, yeah.
And what brought you back here?
A domestic dispute, but I was still on I was on the fentanyl, but I picked up another habit, which was the crack cocaine, which I'm on now. And now I'm just smoking rocks all day, every day.
Every day, all day, or
Every day. I've been yeah, days at a time, days at a time.
and how much rock would you say you use a day?
Uh, well, it's different in Chicago. Like you buy it by the ball or by the teenager. It's not like here where you buy the $5 caps or $3. There'd be times I would go through a ball and half a crack a day. Down here, I could go through a bundle and a half a day.
And how many days? What's the longest you've been up off of smoking crack? How many days have you lasted?
About 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Yeah,
Wow.
you're smoking it just because it's there, just to smoke it. You're not even getting high in order to get aggravated. You're getting paranoid, and you're smoking it just to smoke. And
So would you eat in these days or?
uh, if people come around, I would take a break and eat sometimes, drink a little bit, but most of the times I would just smoke and just ignore all that necessities.
And you had good jobs in your lifetime, right?
Yes, I have.
Well,
Healthcare, 15 years, same facility.
so somebody who worked some good jobs and even got good education in them.
Yep,
How
yep.
did you get involved in crime?
Just got sucked in. It's Kensington. It's like a succubus. It's once you're here for I'm telling even an hour, you can't leave. It just sucks you in. It's it's a black hole because you could come down here with $5 and be high all
Could you speak up in the mic?
day. You come down here with $5 and people are calling samples and you're running for samples and you get a sample of one drug and you try a different drug. Now you're addicted to another drug.
Well, for some of the people who might be watching this and they don't understand what a sample means, could you elaborate?
It's when the dealers hand out samples of their product. And
So basically, testers,
yes, testers. Yep,
meaning that they're actually testing it to see how strong it is.
exactly.
So
And the stronger the better. If somebody does it and they pass out on the street, they're gonna run to that block to get that product because it's the strongest, best product.
well, was you one of them?
Yeah, yeah. I've overdosed out front of Needle Park on a
So
sample.
if somebody was to die from it and you running for that, that product, what what goes on through your head that it's not going to kill you? Are you going to be able to use it less or more? You're going to do something differently from what they did to
Well,
die?
it's weird because we think our tolerance is high because we've been using it for so long. So we think the stronger the better that we can handle it. So you want the stronger because if you get the bullshit, you're upset. So you want the stronger, the most strongest drug out there.
And what's in it? Y'all want Trank too, right? It got to be the Trank with it, right?
Yeah, the people with the trank, you nod out and you dip out. I think it's to forget about the pain and the aggravation and everything that's going on in your life. You just
And
zone out.
and this is Trank, like from animals, right?
Horse tranquilizer. Yep.
And you've been to the zoo. Well, I'm hearing about rhino Trank now,
Yeah.
but you've been to the zoo before, right?
Yes, I have.
You've seen a horse up close.
Yes, I have.
So
Takes
can
a
you,
lot to put them down.
right. So can you imagine
Yeah.
what it's doing to the
Yeah.
Herman body?
Yeah, and then when you're out there and if you fall out, they're not even checking for your pulse. They're dipping every pocket, every sock, every orifice that you could possibly hide money or dope in. That's what they're checking to rob you while you're passed out.
Wow. And
They don't even check for a pulse.
so, what's going on with the boss? What the bystanders be saying or doing when it's going on? They walking
Just
by.
watching or pitching in to see what they could get out of it.
Oh wow. Somebody could be down there as purple as this wall, then, huh?
Yep. And they're just stripping them naked, seeing what they could get.
Wow.
Uh,
So you know, how do you how you able to support your habit? Because I know you have to have some type of hustles to
Yeah,
keep it going.
yeah. I think some I boost. I steal from retail stores. Every once in a while, I'll find a gentleman, and you know,
Well, even with your life of crime, what's some of the crimes you committed?
boy, where to begin? I've worked with crews, uh, cashing checks through drive-throughs across the country.
Wow.
Yeah, all the way from Philadelphia down to Florida, straight up to the Midwest. That's how I ended up in Illinois.
Yeah, and that had to be a heck of an experience.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely an experience.
So, did you see the streets of Chicago? Did you hang out in the streets there?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, what's the difference between the drug epidemic here or the
It,
drug epidemic there?
it's pretty much the same, but it's not out in the open the way it is here. Kensington is there's nothing in this world like Kensington where it's open in the street the way it is. Over there, it's the same problem, but it's hidden more.
Oh wow. So, I could have it wrong, but your Kinston experience. I don't know if you was telling me that you start using crack here after the fentanyl or fentanyl after the crack.
Yes, yes. I was using the fentanyl first, and then I had met somebody in one of the elevators, and he was smoking crack, and he asked me for some of my fentanyl, and I said sure, but I wanted to know why. And he said, "We know when your heart elevates from the crack, put a little fentanyl on his pipe and it brings him down." And then he explained to me if I'm taking some fentanyl, I feel like I'm dipping out, take a hit of crack. Now I never smoked crack out of a glass pipe before until that day, and I got that first hit in that elevator, and I was hooked on crack and fentanyl.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, how often do you make a trip back to that elevator?
Every day, a couple times a day,
And
and the transit cops run us down. And we wait for them to leave, and we run right back in.
well, sometimes when John there and y'all doing drugs, what happens when a parent coming through with their kid? Do y'all show
Do we
respect or
stop?
move?
Yep, we do not do drugs in front of children. That we do not do. That we see everybody says children come in and we stop.
Well, you believe them children when they passing by don't know what's actually happening or going on?
I believe that they do, but it's kind of fucked up way I'm thinking in my head is why would a parent have their children in Kensington? I know it's a fucked up thing to say. It is a fucked up thing to say because you can live wherever you want. You have the right to, but Kensington. Eh,
Well,
I know it's
when I seen you and I want to interview you or put you on the podcast, not not a stigma that you are better than anybody, but you was clean. So how do you manage to keep yourself up through this struggle or this addiction?
uh, through through friends and knowing that I can't let it totally grip me all the way. I mean, it's a I pretty much have because I've lost pretty much everything. I stay at a friend's house. I don't even have my own place anymore. Yeah, I don't pay rent.
Well, speaking of them things, you say you have lost. Could you, give us an example of some of the most important things you have lost in your life?
Relationships with my children. I've lost houses. I've lost cars, careers, jobs, friends, family.
And how's your relationship with your family?
Right now, it's very, very strained because well, I'm at the depth. I pretty much hide from my children because I'm embarrassed to be around them, and they love me because when I got locked up, my son called the jail and said, "Please have my mom call me," and I didn't call him because I was still in the depths of addiction.
Okay, because some people I talk to, they expect for their family to understand what they're going through and just accept it. How do you feel about that?
No, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed and ashamed.
So, what are your plans to, get that shame up out of you and go back to, living the normal life that you normally had and the normal life that I know you could still have?
I'm thinking about going to rehab. Yeah, I think I've about had enough.
And a rock bottom for you, what would that look like?
Uh, just I'm covered in Kensington. I haven't showered in days. Just out here, just wondering where my next fix is coming from. Just,
When when all reality, you said you had friends, but you do have somewhere where you could be to take the shower, right?
right, but I'd rather be out here. Mm.
And how hard is it to be able to keep the high going, or do you just have friends with those you could go to and get the money with those you could just stay high?
Oh
Or
no, 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 no! No, you do crazy things to get high. Yeah, you steal, you rob, you scam.
no, I understand that, but is it hard to maintain it, or
Oh yeah,
these things by stealing and robbing and scamming, do that come by easy?
no, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard for me to do. It's very. It makes me feel like shit what I
And you went to college, right?
do.
What you major in?
I'm a registered nurse.
A registered nurse?
Yep.
Oh, nice. You know you like taking care of people, huh?
Yeah, I'm not taking care of myself.
So, what hospitals have you worked in? Have you worked in any hospitals?
I worked at Nazareth.
Oh wow! For how long?
I worked there for 3 years and at Oakwood Healthcare, which is a rehabilitation center from Nazareth on Red Line in the Boulevard.
Have you seen people come through? You know that had very bad addictions,
Oh yeah,
and when you were seeing these people, did you ever imagine to yourself that
I would be one of them.
yes?
No, but I am. Mhm. Never imagined it in a million years.
So now that you call it, you got felonies, right?
Yep.
So you still do that feeling?
Nope.
Do you miss it?
Yep.
So do you have any regrets in life?
Oh, I have plenty of regrets. Plenty of regrets.
And what would be your main one?
Um, Losing the trust of my children, letting them down. Mm.
So are you making any plans or short term goals or long term goals to get back into their life?
Yeah, I would have to be clean first. I would have to be clean first.
And I always wanted to know that too. Once an addict, get clean,
Right. The trust,
do,
how to build the trust back up.
right? But do the shame and the guilt still be with you once you're sober, or do you just put it to your mind and say, "Well, that was in the past, and I'm different." And are you able just to move on, or
I,
that
I,
shame and guilt still there?
I think the shame and the guilt would still be there. It's something that you would have to build up upon. You'd have to build those trusts back up and those relationships back up again because it doesn't just go away. Like once an addict, I'll always be an addict till the day I die. So it's something you have to build that trust back up.
Yeah, I hear people say that once an addict, always be an addict.
Mhm.
But what is the line in between? Because even though you're not in your active addiction and you not displaying them characteristics of being an addict, are you still feeling like you're an addict?
I would say yeah because I think anything could trigger you back into the addiction that you were in before. And I don't know what my triggers will be when I get clean, but there will be triggers, and I could fall back into the addiction again. I hope I don't. I hope I do get to stay clean, but everything's like a trust and a different level. I can't expect everybody just to forgive me for what I've done. And I've done a lot of bad shit.
Well, you could make them right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's gonna take time. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm clean now. Love me and forgive me."
Right.
You have to work upon that. You know, steps just like steps you got to do to get clean.
You were saying, you was thinking about going to rehab. Have
Yep.
you ever been there?
No.
Or no, have you ever been to any meetings?
Oh yeah, yeah. 5 meetings and stuff.
And what you think about the meetings? Is they helpful or
Look, I've been through like a court order. They call it a drug court in Illinois, but it's bullshit. It's court ordered, so it's not something that you want to do. So you have to want to be clean to be clean. So here that you would call in every day to let you know if you got to do a drop. So you're smoking, just hoping you don't have to do the drop that day. So,
And he will, with your habit, if you was to take a crack rock and you smoke it, how long would that last you before you're running for the next one?
about 3-4 minutes. Yeah, terrible habit.
And some people say they do drugs to stay numb.
Yeah.
And so when you're doing them, do any thoughts go through your head of anything that you're trying to hide, or you just in la la land space?
Thinking La La Land. I don't really have like a horror story of why I do drugs. You know, I think like being fucking high.
So you take responsibilities for your own actions. Because
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, they would say,
And nobody forced me to pick up this crack pipe and that fentanyl. I did it on my own accord.
and you're
I
not,
regret it,
but you're not afraid that the crack might lead you back into fentanyl.
and I hope it doesn't. But it could. It could. I hope on everything that it wouldn't. But this neighborhood here, anything's possible. Anything.
Yeah, because this is a real bad,
Yeah, it's real out there.
and it's look like it's only getting worse.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I could pass through the train station and I see people smoking and getting high, and the police just
Just right there in front of the police. Yep.
well.
The transit officers, the police officers.
So what do you think more so about a lot of addicts that's homeless? What could Philadelphia do differently to help these people? Help themselves and get better housing. You think that Philadelphia is dropping the gun on that, or
Well,
it's all up to the people, or the people making excuses, or
but not making excuses is. It seems like it's acceptable here, and it shouldn't be. That's what makes it so rampant. Is you could smoke crack in front of the police officers, fentanyl in front of the police officers, and nothing happens because the people are warned like scatter and the group gets too big and that's it. Nothing happens.
well, I would just assume that it's hard for the police also because you know I could just imagine that they was running. Some people went from doing that, and
Hmm.
when after they come off their lunch break, this person is back out of jail and
Right.
doing it again.
Yeah. Yeah. The dealers that it's it's hard to explain. It's like anything drug that you could possibly want, you could do here in Kensington,
Any
and it's
drug.
any drug, and
Well,
it's
through your experience, what have you seen? What kind of drug have you seen so that surprised you that it was actually out there?
hmm, it's surprising. Hmm. I guess the car fentanyl is the one with the heavy drink. That was
So you really believe carfentanil is out here?
oh yeah. As soon as you hit it, you drop to the ground.
I would thought that was the drink that make you do that.
Well, that's what it is. The car fentanyl is it's like a horse tranquilizer, I think.
Well, I know a couple of years ago, a cop stopped somebody and he just accidentally touched it and
Yep.
he
Over
passed out.
Yep. Overdose. Yep.
So, what would you think it would take for them to clean this up, or do you believe it's hopeless? It just
I don't think it's hopeless. It's just going to take an army that I don't think Philadelphia is prepared to deal with that issue yet. Because I think Kensington is a way to keep everything confined. Like it's okay if this happens just here. Just don't let it go into other neighborhoods outside of Kensington. Like it's okay as long as it's here because this is Kensington and it's like socially acceptable here. Nowhere else in Philadelphia can you walk around with a crack pipe in your hand or a syringe sticking out of your arm or just sitting there with foil and smoking fentanyl walking down the street. Just here. And it's acceptable. Nobody looks at you twice.
Well, the people that's out here watching, if y'all want to drop a comment so y'all can ask Miss Angela anything, y'all more than welcome because she's open and willing to answer any questions. But back to you. Um, I I think like some of this opiates that overtook and took over Kensington
Mm-hmm.
is behind back in the day the doctors used to just write prescriptions and it was like everybody was stuck on oxys
Yeah.
or codeine perks and now
Yeah, like
you
the pill mills that you go in to pay for a script and get whatever you want.
yeah because you don't even see um no no real perks out there no
Mm-hmm.
more. Everything is just pressed.
Right. Yeah. That's how I started with my fatty addiction. Getting the press perk 30. Fentanyl in it.
Yeah, because the 30s
Mm-hmm.
they was pretty rough.
Yeah.
But them 30s, I met a lot of people who was saying they was taking them for pain, and then you see them a couple of months later, they say they're taking them for energy.
Yep. And to get high. Yep. Start their day.
And while you out here, do you have any friends you like associate in the streets,
Not really.
or you stick to yourself?
Yep.
And
It's the
why is
best.
that?
Because that's the best way to be.
Is it because you don't want to share your drug, or
No, I
you
don't
just
want to
don't
get
trust
robbed. Yeah,
nobody?
I don't trust anybody out here.
Well, have you seen any strange robberies since you've been here?
Oh yeah. There are people passed out and just ripping through every piece of belonging that they have, seeing what they can get, money, drugs, whatever they have on their person when they pass out, they're taking it.
Oh wow,
Yep.
wow!
Yep.
And
I've seen people ride the trains and look for people that are passed out on the train just to go through their shit and rob them on the train while they're passed out on the train.
well, in your time out here, not to criminate yourself
Mhm.
or make you look bad, have you actually robbed somebody while far as the drug use, not robbed the bank or stuck a gun to nobody head or something. Just have you took advantage and robbed somebody to support your habit, or
I plead the fifth on that. But yeah, yeah, you do what you got to do out here.
do you feel bad about doing that, or
It's dog eat dog world, so no.
okay? Yeah, I hear it, doggy dog world,
If I didn't
because
do it, somebody else would.
that's just the rules of Kensington, huh?
Yeah. And people are so high with it, they don't realize it anyway.
So you actually grew up here, right?
Well, in Philadelphia, up in Frankfurt.
And that area is kind of messed up now too, ain't it?
Not as bad as it. Nothing is like that.
Well, when you was coming up, was Kensington always like this, or
Um, pretty much for about the last 15 years. Yeah.
oh wow?
Yeah.
Because I remember they declared martial law here, didn't they?
But I was trying to make the up and coming New Kensington. Didn't work. Didn't work. Drug dealers aren't going to allow it. Users aren't going to allow it.
And because I see, every year they come and clean it up and put, a lot of streetwalkers out there, but it's like that all just disappeared too after a while, don't it?
And every year it comes back to the same thing.
Well, I haven't seen no tents out there no more, so
It's not summertime. Summertime, we'll be back.
and how do when you going to get your drugs, do you build a relationship with the drug dealers, or
Some of them, some of them, yeah.
and overall, outside your addiction, what do you think about drug dealers?
We're like a family, I think. We're like we're providing money for them to take care of their family. They're providing drugs for us to get high.
And also a way of you not being to take care of your family, right?
Mm, so, why are you getting high? You're not thinking about that.
Okay.
Mm,
Well, that was, an interesting word you used, saying we're like family,
no, you
because
don't really think about it.
family uh don't harm each other. Not that way, not intentionally, family.
Not intentionally, but when you're in addiction, that's all that matters.
Have you ever slanged out there on the corners? Or
No,
would you ever do it?
what's thing though?
Yeah, for the dealers, would you do it?
Nah, nah.
Wow. Wow.
I'll be the setup kid.
The setup kid,
Yeah,
meaning,
and I'll be taking all their hits.
oh wow, at
Yeah,
least you know,
yeah, like 20 bundles. Like, oh, give it to the white girl.
right. And since you've been out here, have you been in an active relationship in your active addiction?
No, you can't be. You can't. You can't. You can't. This overtakes anything. If you try to be in a relationship on this, if a birthday comes or a date night and you start smoking, it becomes obsolete, and you'll be home 2 weeks later.
Right.
It just overtakes, trumps everything. Everything.
Well, at least you know that addiction is selfishness, huh?
Totally
So
selfish.
if you really can't care for yourself in it, you sure can't care for nobody else,
Right.
then.
Yep. Yep.
And I understand, you know, but hopefully, you decide to get it together, because never let your mind say that, oh, I really ain't in the bad part of addiction because I'm not doing fentanyl no more.
Oh, I know. I'm in a terrible, terrible depth of addiction.
Do you ever think about using Fetty?
Sometimes I miss that high, but it's so dangerous. I think I'm scared to try it again.
And
Uh,
what's the part of that high that you actually miss? You
it's
know,
like a euphoric feeling. Like it feels. It's hard to explain. It's like everything's wonderful, but then you wind up dipping out anyway. So I don't know. It makes you forget pretty much everything that's going on in life. You should forget about your addiction, even though you're in the depths of addiction.
and when the last time you actually been asleep?
Probably about 3 days ago.
So you've been ripping and running through Kensington for the last
Yep.
3 days.
Yep.
Well, how do you stay up? Because don't the body shuts down, or
Smoke more crack. Yeah, if you eventually break down, you fall asleep on a train, or it- it's scary because you don't know what's going to happen to you when you fall asleep on a train. But it could possibly happen.
so when it's cold out there and you choose not to go to the friend house, just give us, a little story, like what's some of the weirdest places you actually got high?
Abandoned buildings, we put bonfires on corners, make little huts out of sheets and little shit you find in the street, cardboard boxes, the elevators at the L train.
But the trains close down at night, don't it?
Yeah, but there's a way to sneak and hide for when they lock them down. You're still up there.
Wait a minute. So you telling me when it's closed, it's still people
Uh-huh,
up in the station?
uh-huh, uh, yep.
But once it's closed and you snuck in, you were able to get back out also.
When they unlock the doors at 5 o'clock in the morning.
So somebody go and sneak in. What time they close down? By 12.
No, they lock them down by like 1:30.
So for you know, give or take three and a
Make
half
sure you have
hours,
plenty of crack.
and I guess it's just a free fall, not just crack. It's people and they on all drugs, huh?
Yeah, but usually there's not too many people that know how to sneak and stay up there overnight.
Wow.
The most I've seen was like 4 or 5.
But what happens when the drug run out and you just stuck up there,
Then you just stuck.
and soon they come open it,
Yup, you're running for your drug. Yep.
and I was just wondering, for people that get sick and the morning time come, how would they get their drug? The drugs just going all night long, 24 hours.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. There's drugs 24/7.
And what would you say is the busiest time of the day for when the people running for it?
I would say like between 6 in the morning, between 6 and 8, and then you got your afternoon crew, and then in the middle of the night,
Oh,
you
uh,
got your like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock runners,
so samples start early,
like
and
4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, because when I be getting up to go to work,
You see the
and
stampede running.
well, not a stampede, when it's like everybody just stuck in motion because some people nodding, some
Mm-hmm.
people on the ground, and it's just like it's
Yeah.
hard to even get around. And a lot of times when you say excuse me, people
Like
look,
they can't move.
or they turn around with an ugly look and look at
Uh,
you like you're the one, in
mm-hmm.
their way.
Right. You're messing up their head or their shoot.
Right.
Uh,
But if you said you was thinking about going into rehab, right?
Yeah.
So what would be the plans after rehab? Would you go into a recovery home, or
Yeah, I would have to, because if I came back to this area, I would probably fall back.
because I be saying even with rehab, some people go for 30 days and
Uh,
90 days or even 6 months. Do you actually believe that's long enough for somebody to come back come back out here and face, these
yeah,
everyday challenges? Or
I think after rehab, you'd have to go to like a sober living or a step down, and just you have to work on your recovery, because this it's a demon. You have to fight it every day.
and do this demon actually talks to you, or
Oh yeah,
and not into too much graphic detail, but what's some of the things the demon done told you?
that you need to get your ass up and go smoke some crack and
And
figure out a way to get it.
what's how did that make you feel when you gotta go and do things you wouldn't ordinarily do to get it? How did that makes you feel after, or you don't feel because you were
At that
just,
moment, I don't care because I'm getting my fix. But afterwards, I have a conscience.
and what would you tell yourself? You know,
I'm a piece of shit.
well, do that help the cause, or that makes you go run to get more?
I think they like coexist with each other. So it's like I'm a piece of shit, but smoke more so I forget that I'm a piece of shit.
So, how many in between days would you be having though? How many days would you go without getting high? Could you just sit in the house for,
I'll sleep and eat for like 2 3 days and then get up and go on like a 5 6 day bender.
and you would say, how much money would it take a day, to actually satisfy your cravings?
Probably about 150 to $200 a day.
And this is every day, huh?
Yeah. Unless I'm taking like my 2 day break to sleep.
And so sleeping, and you're just eating and sleeping,
Uh, and then
and
when I wake up, I come right back down to God.
well, when you do that, do you regret it when you come back?
No.
It's just to the next one. And how
Mm.
long this run? How long you been on this run?
Like 3 days.
No, I mean, let me rephrase that. It's crack run. How long have you been going? Not how many days that you've been up getting high, but how long have you been on this run of ripping and running?
Oh,
Have-
this has been for like 2 3 years. Yeah, it doesn't stop.
Well, we have a comment. Miss Terry Duck says, you know, praying for you.
Oh, thank you. Need all the prayers I can get.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, I believe it.
Do you pray to God?
Not like I should.
Well, He's always listening,
Mm.
and He's a jealous God.
Yeah,
And I believe that now that
you gotta
is
surrender your whole self.
you only could be serving Him
Yeah,
or the devil.
yeah,
But one thing about God is that even if you was serving the devil, when you're ready to return to Him,
mm,
He's there with open arms.
mm.
But it's people tell I was actually I used to tell myself, well, as long as I keep fucking up, it gives me an excuse to keep on messing up. But
Right.
I learned for myself, it just don't.
It doesn't get any better.
Right.
It just keeps getting worse and worse.
And now for me, I be hearing that story. People say, well, it's easier to do bad than it is to do good.
Right.
I don't believe that, because when I'm doing bad, it's hard. The anxiety, the shame. But when you're doing good, it's you have peace, and so for you, when the last time you had your own place to live?
Whew. Like 5 years ago.
I can't hear you. I'm
About
sorry.
5 years ago.
And in the future, you're planning on getting your place again, right?
Hopefully, God willing, yes.
So even through your them felonies that you picked up, uh, that stops you from getting a lot of different jobs now, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Do you gotta pay any of that money back from the checks you was collecting?
Restitution.
Yes.
A bit restitution. I got 2.5 more years of probation.
Oh, you're still on probation,
Mm-hmm.
and so I would assume that when it's time to go give a urine, that's the days that you will sleep and clean up.
Pretty much.
Well, do they even do anything about dirty orange for crack now?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I heard
And
now.
there's a way to get around it anyway.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you really getting around it?
No, just cheating myself.
Yeah, but back to that, I was hearing that even on probation now, that you could give a dirty urine and nothing happens. But I heard though, if it's for fentanyl or PCP, then that could be a problem.
There's crack cocaine. I know how to get around testing positive, so it didn't really.
We have some more comments. So let's see what they say to you. This is from Miss Samantha. If you could read that.
There are programs to get you back into a profession. Some clean time to get back to nursing. Oh, thank you, Amanda.
Well, that wouldn't be a bad idea to get
Yep.
back to nursing,
Yeah.
because
I have to get myself clean first.
right, and I would think you would like this, continue on helping people, because if you went into that field,
Right.
That's what you like to do.
Mm-hmm.
And do you ever miss it though?
Yes, I do. I miss having a normal life.
Well, if you could change your life back right now, just in a little picture, what would it look like for you, your life, if it was normal? What kind of picture would you paint?
Have a house for me and my kids, even though they're grown now, but still be around my family.
Well, that wouldn't be hard to do, you know.
I would think so.
Well, for anybody that would like to come on and just share a story with Miss Angela, or ask her a question, I'm dropping the link, and you can go to the comment section and click on in, and we will be happy to hear from you, because I believe, Angela, you wouldn't mind answering questions for people, right?
Not at all.
Okay, so we're gonna drop the link and see if we could get anybody to come on to talk to you. Uh-oh, sorry, I dropped the wrong link. Let's see. Yep, yep, I copied it, but having a little problems with it. Please work with me, y'all. No, just give me a second, y'all. Let's work with me. This right here, right? Yeah, there you go.
There.
Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. Confusion, but we're actually back. So, Miss Angela, for for people that actually um be judging addicts, what would you say to them?
That it could happen to anybody. Anybody on this earth, anybody can get sucked into this addiction. I never thought in a million years I'd be here, and here I am.
Well, thank you, Miss Terry. Yes, we back. you know, and once again, I would encourage anybody to come on and either have a talk with Miss Angela. Because she's willing, and she's will accept the feedback. But you was actually one of them people who uh kind of judge addicts also at one time, right?
Yeah, I did.
And what's the misconception that now that you know differently, what was the things that you were saying to them?
Uh, Calling them junkies and pieces of shit. And, yeah, like I didn't understand it. Like,
you know,
dope fiends, whatever.
and now,
And now I'm on.
well, not a dope fiend or not even a junkie. I would just say somebody that have some issues and a little bit of setbacks.
Uh, More than a little bit of setbacks.
Well,
Years and years of setbacks.
well, what's your plans to actually change it? It's not just thinking about going to rehab, but
I got to
maybe
do it.
yeah, that's
I got to do it.
that's the
I'm
key.
just gonna buck down and do it.
You have another comment here.
Oh, thank you. Everybody deserves a chance to be
Let's
clean.
see what she say to you. How you doing today too? Also, everyone deserves a chance to become clean.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
So there's a lot of people who roots for you,
Right.
whether they've been through actual addiction or not.
Mm.
But I would like to take a chance to say pretty much everyone have experienced what it does because we all have family members or loved ones that been through this.
Right.
And yeah, it's there. I see it. And like I said, here's the link. If anybody wanna come on in, join in, be able to talk to her, or just share their own story, something that could help because we all deserve help. We all, need help. And if you do go to rehab today, like you were saying, you was thinking about doing,
Mm.
I commend you on that because that's a powerful step, in the
Yeah.
right direction.
Yeah, you gotta be tired. Be sick and tired of everything.
Right. So even through your addiction, when you come out, that's when you come outside every day. That's all you planning on is to get high. Or do you be having other plans that you be thinking about you're gonna do, or
Nope.
it's
That's it.
just to get high?
That's it. That's my main goal every day.
And do you come out just hoping to be able to get high, or you automatically know where you could go just to get high?
Oh, I know every day I'm gonna get high. I'll go hit a store, grab some stuff, sell it, and go on down.
Are you and you do you be afraid, or the addiction won't let you even think about the consequences?
I don't even think about the consequences. I just tell myself that the stuff in the stores is my stuff, and they're just holding it for me. I go in there and get it and walk out with it.
You have Miss Terry. She says, "Yes, don't think about it. Put it in action and run with it. You are still young and full of life. Get it together for yourself. You will want. I'm sorry. Would you want your kids to be lost?
No, I would not.
And that's the good thing. She said you are still young.
No.
And for those who just don't, tuned in, give them your age. Let them
I am 50 years old.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see, you still have the young Jane, and
Yep.
and you can still make an impact, a difference in this world. And Miss Terry Duck, she's just brought another comment in for you. To addiction, as a mama myself, I ask God to lead and guide you.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you.
So I read the last comment, Lisa. So could you still get into nursing, or your charges will prevent that?
I would have to seriously look into it because I'm pretty sure my charges would have to be cleared before I could get back in the nursing field.
And now, after your charges, what kind of jobs did probation tell you to go get? Because I know they give you some sort of leads.
Retail and stuff like that, which pretty much they won't hire me because I have retail charges.
Well, when you was cashing checks, did you take a lot of money?
Yes. Yes.
And what you gotta pay back a percentage, or they want all that money back?
Um, just a percentage of it because a lot of it was insured by the FDIC.
And it wasn't just Pennsylvania where you was.
Uh, Traveled all across the East Coast, uh, down south, and up to the Midwest.
And what was you doing with this money? Just supporting your habit, or
Supporting my habit, just living large pretty much. Expensive hotels, rental cars, casinos, just blowing it. A lot of drugs.
because that's one thing about us though. We just don't believe that it will come to an end, right?
Oh, it came to an end, all right. Definitely came to an end.
So when you got caught, what was your what was your biggest concern, that you in trouble or you just can't get high no more?
Put a big old hit on my crack pipe and stepped on the gas.
Oh, they chased you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wound up in a high-speed police chase. And,
What?
yeah, accident and went through the windshield. Yeah.
Oh, so you wasn't driving?
Huh?
You wasn't the one driving though, right?
Uh.
Well, did you get injured?
Yeah, I went through the windshield. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, God was with you.
Yeah. I woke up with the detective standing right there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And did anybody get hurt seriously, or?
We had a broken leg, broken jaw. I had 4 fractures in my back. Uh, you know, cuts and bruises and abrasions.
Are you still in contact with any of these people that you?
No. I kind of wish I was, as kind of in a way, in a weird way.
Well, if you was to run to one of them today, and
Would I do it again?
yeah,
Yeah.
you would
Yeah.
take the chance to,
Yeah. I would do it again.
and
Yeah.
you're not thinking that about you're lucky to be alive, or not even lucky because it's no luck with God. Blessed to be alive,
Yeah, blessed to be alive, but it's such easy and fast money.
and you will put on the risk because the addiction, or because you want to.
Because the addiction, it's nothing to think about. It's just the money's always there.
Well, money could always be there now if you just turn around and do something positive.
Right, like go to
But
rehab.
from our experience, anything that we do negative, that gotta run out. That gotta play its course.
Yes, it does.
Well, hopefully you just don't run into none of these people.
Hopefully, I wind up in rehab.
Right. Because last time you went through the window shield,
Yep.
it's this time it could be worse than that.
Yeah, it could be the end of my life.
And how long did it take you to heal from these injuries?
A couple months, but like the fractures will be there forever. Like I'm always have pain in my lower back.
And when you went through the window shield, you went to jail?
For it's weird because Illinois is a no bond state, so you're out, and it wasn't such a serious charge. It was my first offense, so it was more like restitution and probation, because they considered me and the other girl victims of
the crime.
Yeah, like we were drug addicts, and these men forced us to do this shit, but really they didn't. But
so, and when you got released, did you automatically start getting high again?
Oh yeah, yeah, without even a thought.
Well, hopefully, you decide to change that. Because if you could look at it, you went through a windshield, got caught fractures, and you just said that if you had the chance, you would do it again. That would be something for you to look at, and just knowing that this addiction
needs some kind of help.
has got way out of control.
Yes, it has.
And as far as help, first place I would tell you is to look to God,
Yeah.
because He will always point you in the right direction. And we about to end this, but before we go, is there anything you would like to say to the people who looked in?
Just thank you very much for listening, and I hope my story will deter somebody from not doing drugs, because this is not the life to live. It's a horrible life.
Well, y'all heard it from Miss Angela. She's been
Mhm.
around the block and back,
Yep.
and years and years of abuse,
Yep.
and we know it just don't pay.
Uh,
It you will pay, but it don't
uh,
pay off for you, but you will actually pay. So
uh,
hopefully her story touched somebody, and hopefully y'all got something out of it. And I would like to, wish y'all the best and have a good day. And thank y'all for tuning in to Live Podcast with Angela on Open Diary. And with that, until the next time, I'll be bringing another story pretty soon. And I will, appreciate y'all tuning in to watch.
thank you.
Thank y'all.